Hey, second grade. I hope you're doing great and had a great start to your day. Today, we're going to keep learning about even and odd numbers. We started that yesterday, and today we're going to continue that learning. So, we're going to get our learning targets ready and see what today is going to look like. Let's get those up and ready. I can identify a group of objects as even or odd. That means I can say that's even because, or that's odd because. So today we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. We're going to use our tools and really figure out and prove how we know if a number is even or odd. Let's take a peek at our first problem today. Drew a picture of my socks, okay, in my drawer. I have all these socks in my drawer, and I'm wondering, do I have an even number of socks in my drawer? Will I have enough to have all my pairs? Or do I have an odd number of socks in my drawer? So here they are. Joop, 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 joop. I want you to take a minute, and I want you with your counters or your cubes to show me or prove to me whether that's an even number of socks or an odd number of socks. Go ahead and get started, and we're going to check back here in just a minute. How do you know it's even? Why do you think? How does your picture show that? What does it sound like when you count those? How do you know that that's even? Where are your groups? All right, let's go ahead and come together. We've got some friends that are showing some thinking that's pretty exciting. Our first one, go ahead and share what you think is going, how do you know if it's even or odd? You drew circles. I know the socks were a little silly, weren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know I had 8. You said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. What did you do next? You put them in groups of 2. Why groups of 2? Because you know that an even number has to have groups of 2. Okay? Is it even or is it odd? How do you know it's even? Okay, so there's groups of 2. Are there any left over? No. So that's one surefire sign that we know that a number is even if it's in groups of 2 and there are no leftovers. That's exciting. I have no feet that are not going to be, or that are going to be uncovered this winter because I've got my socks in my drawer. You did not draw that same picture. Can you tell us what you drew? Okay, and how does yours show 8? Okay. And how did you group yours? And how do you know that that's even? Because those are 2 equal groups. Any leftovers? I want you to take a minute and tell your partner how these 2 ways are similar. Tell me how these 2 ways are similar. Just take about 30 seconds and tell your partner, how are these 2 ways the same of proving whether a number is even or odd? Can you share what you just said? These are 2 groups of 4, and these are 4 groups of 2. Interesting. 4 and 2 are going together. 4 groups of 2 and 2 groups of 4. And it makes 8. Okay. All right, let's pose our next problem. So 8 is even. What about this friend, this little problem here? Ooh. There were 15 kids wanting to play soccer. Is there an even or an odd number of players wanting to play? There were 15 kids wanting to play soccer. Is there an even or an odd number of kids wanting to play? Remember to use those counters or those cubes, something to help you really see and move those around to decide if it's even or odd. Okay. What did you draw? You said, 7 and 7 was 14. So one more is 15. So how does that let us know if it's even or odd? Odd because those pair up. How did you show that they paired up? Grouped them off. Okay. Like that. Okay. Like that one up there. Put them off into groups of 2. I can even look at their floor and they've got these little groups of 2 all over. And then there's just one little guy all by himself. All by myself. Okay. All those partners, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and that one more is 15. Okay, but that's not how I've seen it on everybody's. Can you share with us what you did? Okay. You also knew about 4 or 7 plus 7 equals 14. Okay. You also had a leftover, but how did you group yours? Because I don't see little groups of 2 everywhere. What are we going to do with this extra little guy here on the team? I don't know either. But we have a team of 7 and a team of 7, and then we have an extra person. We're going to have a little sub, won't we? Is this number even or odd? I'm hearing a resounding odd. How do we know? Because these are partnered up. These have 2 groups, and there's a leftover every time. So 15 is odd. 8's even, 15's odd. Okay, so no leftover, leftover. Talked about that yesterday a little bit, didn't we, with our even and odd numbers, okay? So then let's take a peek at this last problem that I have for you, and then we'll go off and work on our own. I drew a picture of a domino, okay? And a domino just has 2 groups, 2 sides, okay? And I'm curious if here we see an even or an odd number. Now I will tell you that some second graders have said even, and some second graders have said odd. It's going to be up to you to prove to me whether it's even or odd. The challenge is on. Is it even or is it odd? remember to use your tools. That means you might draw it, or you might actually use the tools, the counters, to help you do it. Okay? All right, if you think even, thumbs up. If you think odd, thumbs up. All right, odds, talk to me. Why do you think it is odd? Okay? These have a partner. This has a partner. Oddball. Partner. Partner. Oddball. There's an oddball on both sides. Huh. Do you agree or disagree? You disagree. You think it's even? Why? How can you add to this friend's thinking? Okay. I hear you say, I agree with the partners here, but what part do you disagree with? Can we do that? We sure can, can't we? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Did anybody see that a different way? Oh, so somebody says, I know that 5 and 5 makes 10. And you kind of laid it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If we were to stretch those dots out, what do you notice? They all have a partner, don't they? Any leftovers? No leftovers. 8 is even. 15 is odd. 10 is even. As you work on your own today, you're going to notice that there's pictures and there's also numbers that you're having to figure out whether they're even or odd. As you solve each of these, I want you to make sure that you are proving how you know. So we don't just want an answer, even or odd. I want you to use your words or a picture to prove how you know whether it's even or odd. And I want you using words like pairs or partners, right? Groups of 2 or 2 groups of, and we see that in all the work that our friends have done today. So head on back to your seats, open up your workbook, and go ahead and see if you can figure out if those numbers are even or odd. And don't forget to show how you know. Use those tools.